It's here, folks. It's here. We've made it. We are days away from the National in Chicago 2021. Can you believe it has been this long since we've had this big of a show, right? 2.5 years. Welcome to Muley Stocks. My name is Jamil. This is part 5 of 5, the last of the print run, baby, in terms of our national series on the National in 2021 in Chicago. And I am so excited to do this episode because what we're going to talk about today is simply the fact that we should be enjoying what is ahead of us. A lot of things to talk about today, but let's just take a moment and realize how much so many have been through. And I want to be respectful from the fact that I know some of you may have lost loved ones, in this last year and a half. I want to be respectful for the fact that I know people have gone through hell and high water with their jobs and loss of jobs and not finding work and loss of monies and lives being changed drastically. So cards are somewhat insignificant sometimes, but for the hobby community and the people that are the hobby community, there's so much to be thankful for looking into this event. It is going to be the social culmination of the hobby. We have not had a national event for 2 years, right? Two years it has been since the Chicago 2019 National, which at that time, let's just take a time warp back and think a little bit about that event, right? That was an event where you had a momentum. Trae Young and Luka had entered the league, right? Ohtani, Soto, was it Alonso? You had in baseball, you had all those things going on. The 18 season had just, we had just gotten, right? We had just gotten the after effects of Mahomes' first season, right? And then, him getting into that next season, which I think was his Super Bowl season, if I'm correct. So looking back at the card world, right? The cards were nothing at that point, right? They were nothing compared to where we're at now. And it's crazy to think because in 2019, cards were everything to me. And to think how much they were worth and the fun it was. And now, fast forwarding, how everything has blown up. How so many people have got involved. I remember in 2019, Gary Vee, setting up and just his world, whether you like him or you hate him, but just his world, right? And how many people were kind of getting into cards at that time, and the young people that he had got involved in this, and just seeing the excitement then. To think what would have been like if we had a national a year ago in Atlantic City, right? But now we don't. We had to wait. And the party is about to start with so many people coming together to simply enjoy cards, right? That's why we do this, guys and gals. We do this because we enjoy it. We do this because we love it. We love ripping. We love trading. We love buying and selling. We love hearing the stories. We love the people who are involved in this. We love the excitement it brings, the almost the healthy anxiety that it brings, the anticipation that it brings, the peace of mind that it brings to remove yourself and retreat, to put a set together, right? To hunt those cards on eBay to make that rainbow. That is what is the National. Now, I am talking strictly about cards. There are memorabilia, autograph guests. There will be comics, I'm sure, Pokemon gaming, all that. But just for sports cards, right, as we just think about it from that perspective, sports cards in itself have really changed. You know what I mean? We have built such a gathering, right? Such a force of people, whether it be famous or non-famous people, right? There are so many people out there now who are just truly infatuated with cards, which is cool, right? To think that all the people that are excited with cards. And I'm excited to be a part of that. So I wanted to show you guys just really quick. I mentioned a few last episode that I was in Dallas This is where we're going to be for the National. Love to see if you can come out. This is the hot corner, we're calling it. All these people that I tagged in our Instagram post are in there. But you can see, great shops, RBI Crew, Sports Card Junction, Indie Card Exchange, Costa Cards, all these people in this area here, Brothers in Cards. And then there's where we'll be right there, 248 and 250 on the screen, which is right by, as you can see, the food court and the little poop emojis. That's the bathrooms back there. But that circle right there is known as the hot corner. So if you are coming to the National and you just want to spend some time with some of the best people in the industry, just like I talked about, come back to the hot corner. You could just stand there the whole time, to be honest. So that's where I'll be. I can't wait to meet many of you guys and really just catch up, to think about my roots, from Blowout Cards and Sports Card Forum and some of those people that I made friends with 10, 15 years ago. To think about the people that I've met at the National, domestically and internationally. To think about the people that I've got to rub elbows with, with breaks or sold product to or bought product to or product from, or maybe it's the people that other card shops that I've gotten to know and they've helped me and kind of given me that advice to start 3 years ago. That is what the National is. It's the culmination of all that. And for us to be excited is an understatement. Think about what makes you tick, you know what I mean? That is what the card show will bring out, every aspect of it. The National isn't really just a card show. I think a lot of people think, it's just another show. And I know for this year, we've got too many of them. But it's not just another show, folks. It is something very unique and special. It is definitely an experience. I know that many people have said that. I've never experienced the National. And I think that there's an element to that, right? Just being there, being around all that's happening, which should be fun. And it's really what the hobby is all about. Card shows, social gatherings, getting together and trading and talking cards, and more importantly, talking sports in these little, 2.5 by 3.5 rectangles. That's that's really what gets us all juiced up. You know what I mean? And so I'm excited to be there. I'm excited that I even have this opportunity to be there and in the capacity that we will be there. But one thing I will encourage you all to do, and this, I know the last 4 parts of this series have been kind of do's and don'ts and watch out for or try this or consider this. But I think this would be the one thing I would ask you to take away is network with people and get people's info, spend some time with people, get to know people at the National. I know it's going to be hectic and chaotic, but if you can have conversations, or maybe you're just at another booth and you're looking at cards, those are the best kinds of conversations. You get jokes going, you talk about cards, you reminisce about cards, you show off cards, right? Make sure you are making that personal connection with people in the hobby, because that's what's going to be long-standing. It's not going to be about the card you got a great deal on. That's always going to be there, trust me. Or the card that someone comped wrong. Or the card that you found a precious metal gem inside a $5 basketball box, or what. Those are great stories. Now, don't get me wrong, it's really cool to have those stories. But the bigger thing is the people that you're going to meet and the people that you're going to build relationships with for a long time. So I would encourage you guys, make sure you're getting people's info. Make sure you're getting shops infos out there. You're learning about all the cool card shops across the country. Make sure you're following people on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all those elements. All the people that are doing vlogs out there. I know after a while, and we're going to have the Card Shop Show out there. I guys, many of you know that's our channel, the Card Shop Show on YouTube. We're going to be filming the whole event. But I know that that's kind of a new world. But what's cool about that is it's documenting history, right? It's vlogging and documenting things that are happening. Get in on some of these people's vlogs, right? Spend some time, talk to these people. Maybe they'll interview you or they'll put you in their vlog. Maybe you can tell them your experience about the National. What's cool about that is that you get an opportunity, a small opportunity, to kind of just, say, I was there. And these people who do these vlogs usually spend a lot of time editing and just do such great work. Shout out to Josh and Joe for the Card Shop Show. But make sure you spend some time and maybe they'll feature you in one of their videos or something, or their podcasts, or maybe it's just the Instagram post or whatever. That's what this is about, right? The hobby community as a whole. One thing I would say too is, take a moment, step back, and appreciate the hard work that is the National, right? Not the show in general. I mean, that's its own entity of how hard it's been put together. Appreciate the hard work of the companies, right? The manufacturers that actually make these cards. Appreciate the hard work that the graders put in to pumping out tens of thousands of cards at the event. I don't want to get into a negative side of it because I'm sure PSA, they came out with an email today and said that they're going to have everything graded by the end of the show. I hope that that's true, but I know if you submit a card on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, it may not be true, Appreciate what these dealers and collectors have brought to the National for you to see, for you to purchase, for you to look at, take pictures of, because in a way, it's a hobby. If you were to put together some 57 Chevelle or something, I don't even know. I'm speaking out of turns. I don't even know if there were Chevelles in 57. But if you were to put together some really cool car and talk about that car, all that hard work, it's featured into this performance beast of a car, right? If you are somebody who works on a boat or you enjoy rock climbing, there's always a payoff and an appreciation for that hobby. I think in sports cards and in cards in general, the appreciation is the culmination of look at what I've been able to obtain, collect, find, assemble, right? And to see that. I mean, sometimes you just forget how much time is put into this. So that's one other thing I'd encourage you guys to do is be appreciative. Be appreciative for what you have. I know every day I look back at some of these high-end cards that we have, and I'm thinking, man, how did this happen? How am I able to have these things? And I'm very thankful for that. That's why I want to, I enjoy these events, is trading and selling, trying to have those things get passed on. But I would encourage you to take a moment to just step back and enjoy and appreciate the time spent, the craftsmanship, if you will, of what the National is. And then lastly, spend some time outside your box. You know what I mean? You're there for business. I get it. A lot of you are there to buy and sell. Some of you are there for pleasure. Some of you are there for a little mix of it. But maybe talking to people out of the blue, or giving a card to a kid, or just doing something outside the box. Going to a game with some strangers at the show that you met for the first time, downtown Chicago, see the White Sox or the Cubs play, or whatever it might be, right? Do these things. Go out to dinner with some folks maybe that you haven't, you don't really, maybe you met them at the show, or maybe some people from across the country. I can think of some stories that I could share, and I don't want to be too sentimental, but I remember there's a guy I met who just shared with me one time at the show. He said, my son died in a car accident a couple years ago, and I just do this every day to remember him. And I would have never have known that unless I talked to that guy. And he says, I'm doing this for us. This is our collection. It's a memory of him. And I think about those kinds of things in the card world. Earlier this year we had an opportunity to just help a family who tragically, they lost their daughter and their granddaughter, niece and sister, and got to be a part of that with Panini and myself, and just going beyond cards to appreciate that family, bless that family, help those people. I know Aaron is putting together something really, really unique for Camp Kesselman. If you don't know about it, go be a part of that event. I don't forget which night it is. You know what I mean? I know Kentucky basketball cards, Jimmy and Ryan from Card Collector 2 are throwing a trade night that they don't really, I know they get sponsorships and all that stuff, but they want it to be free in the form of advancing the hobby. They just announced PJ Washington's going to be there signing autographs for free. So, what I'm getting at is make sure you embrace the time that you have. I think this past year has shown us and taught us that nothing is promised. Lifestyles can change, and the life that we think we have can change. In a matter of months with the coronavirus. So enjoy the National. It's here, guys and gals. Spend some time with people, and don't forget, how lucky we are. Just for example, I can think of my international friends can't make it to this trip, can't get into our country for this trip, whatever the stipulation is, and yet we have the ability to gather and to do this. So not only are we blessed in America, we're blessed to be able to attend this show, and I don't think that's too harsh of a statement to you guys out there to say to embrace it and be thankful for it, because this is why we've been here to gain and to gather and to enjoy these things, which is always boils down to the people that make it up. So I'll stop my rambling. I will see you all at the National. Again, this is the hot corner, we're calling it. Bunch of card shops here in this area back here. As you can see, you can follow my Instagram, Shop Mealy Pops. You can follow our Twitter as well, and we'll have a lot of postings about this. But come see us if you get a chance. We'll have our big Mealy Pops banner out, and we'll have all of our team out there, our breaking team. We'll have all of our folks that are involved with the shop, working it. My father and all the folks in the shop, people who help me with Muley Pops Madness. And I just think about like how I get a chance to share all of that. These people, these awesome people, with everybody at the National, and that's just one tiny little booth. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that puts a bow on it. This has been a fun little series for me to do, these 5 parts. Hopefully you've gained something from it. Go back and watch them if you haven't seen them all. We talked about a lot of different things as we prepare for the National. And hopefully, my 5-6 years experience in this can impart something to you so you make it more enjoyable and use your time wisely at this incredible event. So we won't have Muley Stocks for a couple weeks. As you know, I'll be in Chicago. I won't be able to make a Muley Stocks here in this little makeshift studio we have. But be looking for some things to come at the end of 2021 into 2022, as we will be moving into some more extra space, and we'll have a new studio soon. So should be fun with that. And that's all I have to say, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you. If you can't make the National, make sure you comment in below. Let us know you'd want to be there. We want to hear about it. And I will see you, my friends, at the 2021 Chicago National